Hello Capricorn, Turquoise Tarot here with your reading for 17. I hope you're all doing well. Much love and light to you and yours. Um, I have two quick announcements before I get started with the reading. One is I'm offering a special on private reading, so you can purchase a minute one question reading for dollars. That will be a video reading. So basically what that entails is you send me an email with your question and I will return your email within 8 hours with a private video of your reading. Now, if you have any follow-up questions, you're always welcome to email me and I'll be happy to answer what I can for you. The second announcement that I have is I have this beautiful deck, and I don't know if I can necessarily call it a deck. It's more of like motivational quotes, but I've had this for several years. Maybe some of you have heard of the Four Agreements, but I love this deck, and I've used it personally for years. So I'm going to be drawing a couple cards from this deck and seeing what other messages come through for you. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and start, and we're going to look at what the general messages are for Capricorn for the month of Earth. And then I will do a love reading for both the single and the couple Capricorn. Okay? First card is the Knight of Swords, King of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Ten of Wands, the Emperor, Nine of Cups, Strength, Nine of Pentacles, Two of Swords. And excuse me, lose my voice. I've done some readings so far. Bottom of the deck, overall energy is the Ten of Pentacles, which is beautiful. Let me just look this over for a minute. We'll see what messages are coming through for you. I feel like some of you, if you're a father and you have a teenage son, and this is very specific, but I kind of feel like there's someone out there who's a father and he has a teenage son, and I think his son is a bit impulsive, like most teenage kids are. But this child in particular, his impulsiveness tends to get him into trouble sometimes. And so you as the father are watching him, and I think he's making a very valiant effort to be different, to work on himself. And it's very hard for him to do. But I think you're acknowledging him for it this month. You're seeing progress, steady progress. That's something to be very proud of, and I think you will be. Let me see. I think this month, Capricorn, you are certainly in need of a break. I think that there's been a lot of family obligation, and I think that you've kind of been the go-to for the people in your family, in your love life. They've basically put a lot on you, and I don't think they've necessarily realized how much weight that they were carrying, that they kind of put on your shoulders. So I feel like this is a month, especially the beginning of the month and the middle of the month, I kind of feel like you need space and you need some downtime, like you need some R&R, and not just any R&R, but you need some alone time. Like you just want to be alone in your room by yourself doing whatever you enjoy doing. Reading a book, watching your favorite show, eating whatever, not worrying about what everybody else has for dinner or whatnot. I just kind of feel like you need a break. And it could be that a father in the picture steps up to the plate for you. It could be a husband, a spouse, it could be an ex-partner, co-parenting situation for some of you, where they kind of step up to the plate, but it's a heavy burden for them because they're realizing how much you actually do. They're realizing how challenging it is and how much you actually do on a regular basis. They're realizing how strong you are, how independent you are. And I think you're being recognized for being such a great asset to the group, to the family, to whatever you consider family as well. I don't want it to necessarily be brothers, sisters, mother, father, whomever you consider your family. You're being recognized and acknowledged within your family for the efforts and the impact that you make. But you're also getting to take the rest, which is nice. Money wise, I think you're going to be doing really well, really well. I think you are maybe overworking yourself, like I said. If it's not in a home related situation, maybe a work situation. You are Capricorn after all. So if that's the case, you do need a rest. Um, the only thing that I'm kind of uncertain about at this point is this Two of Swords. It's um, like it's sticking out like a sore thumb to me. All the other cards are really beautiful. But why is there hesitation? Why is there stagnation? Or why are you not willing to see something for what it is? Why do you feel stuck? You have financially, you're doing great this month. Maybe it's the fact that you have to work at the level that you work in order to obtain the wealth that you obtain. But now it's time to ask yourself, is it worth it? And overall, you are the King of Pentacles. You're at the top of the reading. Your primary focus is stability and security in a financial sense. Maybe, even if you're not the father or there is no father figure around, you're the one who runs your household. You're the emperor. You're the one in control. So, that being said, you're really looking at, okay, what can I do different so that I'm not burning myself out, running myself rampant? It's costing too much energy. It's taking too much out of me. For some of you, I feel like you'd be thinking about, in this month, starting your own business. And that would be some indecision for you as well. Maybe there's talk about a family business or starting a family business. Maybe that's an idea you have. Maybe it's something that would be wish fulfillment for you, is having your own business, but running it with family or running it with people that are close to you, treating each other as family. I kind of see it though as being something you want to pass on. So if you're someone with children, it's almost like you want to start a business and you want to be able to pass it on. Pass on the wealth. Or maybe you're considering taking over a family business that's already in place. Leaving your present career or job to take over something else that you never thought you would do, but you're tired of the rat race or you're tired of what you're doing over here in a sense. Maybe this family business is more low key, it's, not as much work. Let me look at the Four of Wands first. I'm sorry, Four of Swords. I feel like there's a warning with this Four of Swords to watch your health too. Just make sure you get your sleep, you get your rest, you get your water, you get your food. Take care of yourself because you're working very hard at something. Excuse me. And you just got to make sure you take care of yourself first. So on the Four of Swords, we have reunion, haughtiness, and the wedding card. So to me, if this is not romantically speaking to some of you, it would be, but I feel like this is coming together or reconnecting with an old passion or an old idea and making a commitment to it. Something that brought you happiness, something that brought you joy, something that was truly, it feels right. It feels like it's truly what you, were here to do, or brought here to do. Love related, I would say, because we do have the wedding card in there, we do have the reunion card in there. This can be for a small percentage of you, something to do with love, reuniting. I don't see it as a reunion though. I don't see a reunion anywhere. I think it's more of just reuniting with yourself in a way, because it's on the Four of Swords. So I kind of feel like it's like it's that R&R that you need, and you're devoting some time to yourself. Really, you need that. Some self-indulgence, with the haughtiness card. It can just be simply self-indulgence, but it's very necessary self-indulgence. Let me look at the Ten of Wands. Sorry guys, it's late here, and I've done many readings today, so I'm a little tired. And on top of that, we have this huge storm come through. I'm not in any of the hurricane areas, thank goodness, but I have prayers and prayers to all those out there who are in that situation. Please stay safe. And oh man, it's just one thing after another, it seems, you know. But yeah, we have a terrible storm, and it's just like banging on the window. Okay, so on the Ten of Wands, this burden, this hardship, it's saying that you need to have faith. Look, we have the priest and we have faithfulness on either side of this joyfulness card. So it's really talking about you need to have faith in yourself. You need to have faith in that you're moving in the right direction, that you're making the right decisions for yourself, but also following your passions a little bit more. Stop feeling like you're obligated to do everything, or stop feeling like you have to work at this level to gain this level. It doesn't have to be that way. Look at the Nine of Cups. So if you are considering maybe opening a business, or you're, maybe career-wise or money-wise, you have two options, or you're considering something, it's really saying here with these three cards, follow your gut, follow your passion, have faith in your dream. It's not saying be stupid about it, but, it's okay to not put all your eggs in one basket. Your wish is that you can do something permanently that you absolutely love. That's your hope. You want to do something that you love permanently. This is on the Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment card. It's the Nine of Cups. So I think this is really a time when you're making some changes, or you're considering making changes at least. But it is going to take strength, because even though you're a very, very strong, independent sign, you're also a very conservative sign. You're ruled by Saturn. So, change is not something that you look forward to. Surprises are not something that you enjoy. But I think that you're really kind of maybe contemplating about maybe, doing something independently from a business. I see you kind of breaking away from a corporation or from a business and doing something independently. But whatever this is that you want to do independently, again, you want to involve family, or you want to involve friends, or you want to establish this business so that it's something you can pass on. Maybe this is the month where you're realizing, hey, you know what, I have the funds, or I'm realizing how I can obtain the funds to really get started on what I want to do. I want to look at the Two of Swords. Sorry guys, I'm losing voice. I think this is going to be the last reading I do for tonight. Two of Swords. Enemy, foe, and constellation. So interesting. I'm just looking at your spread. It's so interesting that we get these three cards on here. Business-wise, this is telling me that there may be somebody that you're having an issue with, okay, and and they know that it's just not going to work, okay? I feel like you both want to be the boss, but you both can't be the boss of whatever the situation is. And I feel like this is why you have a burden. I just feel like you can't manage or do what you want to do the way you want to do it. Maybe you see a better way, or maybe they're asking too much of you, But it's like, it's a power struggle, I feel. And that's why you're feeling trapped, because you've never or maybe you never thought you would be challenged this way by this person, or maybe you never thought that that they would put you through what they have and give you so much work, or want to move you around so much or whatever. You just don't feel like whatever they're doing, you're just doing way too much. And you're like, something's got to give. Something has got to give. And it gives because you have to make a decision, even though you don't want to. I mean, look, this girl, she can't move until she either she has to drop one of the swords to remove the blindfold and whatever. She has to do it. Nobody's going to do it for her. So she has to make a choice. Otherwise, she's stuck on that bench forever. So you will be at a position sometime this month, probably closer towards the end of birth. But you're going to be at a point where you're saying, all right, enough is enough. Do I stay? Do I go? I mean, and I think you're going to be challenged enough by this person that finally, like I said earlier, financially, either you're ready or you're getting financially ready. This is the go this month. There's a blessing coming in of some kind that gives you the go that you need to do what you want to do. Ultimately, whatever this change is career-wise, it's going to be something that either it's going to be a long-lasting change, it's going to be something you do for, several more years to come, or it's something you pass down. What I see. So that's the general reading, guys. Let me go ahead and look at what's coming in for love. And we're going to do single Capricorns first. See what the general messages are for you. First card is the Magician, Knight of Pentacles, what's this? Page of Wands, Nine of Swords, Six of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Seven of Swords, Five of Cups, Nine of Cups. The bottom of the deck, overall energy is the Star card. Wow. Well, we have two sixes here. Let's see what else we have. Seven. We have two nines. Something's near completion. Just give me one moment. I just gotta look this over. Well, one of the obvious messages here is the return of an. We have all the cards that can speak of it. I mean, we have the Six of Cups, Nine of Cups, the Star card, and then along with it we see whatever agony or distress was caused by this person being healed with the Nine of Cups. But I think I'm just getting a strong feeling like there's so much more to this. And maybe there's something deeper. Maybe that's just a small fraction of the story. Or maybe that just applies to a very small percentage of you. But it's just not the entire, there's something so much more here that's going on. So I have to look. I want to say, I got the word good riddance. You said good riddance to somebody. This person is highly manipulative, and they've been manipulative with you, right? They've been deceptive, maybe. They've played a lot of mind games, and they caused you a lot of distress. For some of you, this is someone you presently know. This is someone who causes you a lot of anxiety. Okay? This is not someone that you should want a relationship with. I think there's a part of you that's really, really hopeful that this is going to turn into something so much more, and that's why you're so anxious and wondering, why is this person playing the games that they're playing? it's because they're just playing games. They're not really committed in any way at all. So you're stressing yourself over nothing because they make promises. They're not going to keep them. They're just taking, what they can from you or getting what they can from you. And yes, this causes some heartbreak, or if this has already happened to you in the past and you're still kind of mentally suffering with it, you're still emotionally suffering with it as well. Um, if you're casually, dating somebody and you've been waiting for it to turn into something much more, this is that scenario as well playing out where you have to realize it for what it is. Okay? I think that some of you, um, maybe some of you are wanting someone to return from the past. Maybe you're wanting to reconnect with somebody from the past. And I kind of feel like you're realizing that this relationship was more balanced than you initially thought it was. And you're grieving the loss now after the fact because you've been kind of um, realizing that, nothing else since then, no other relationship since then has been as balanced or better suited for you than this person from the past. And I think that by the end of the month, there may be some wish fulfillment here where we're reconnecting with that person. Let me just look here. So focused on the red right now and the red in the cards. I just feel like love this month, yes, it's going to be important. It's going to be highlighted, especially for you who are single. But you're needing to realize you have more power in a situation than you think. It's time to live that passion, feel that passion, ignite that passion. Maybe it's been a while, and you've been worried that you wouldn't find love. You've been tricking yourself. It's there. The star card is the overall energy. That's hope. That is, the major arcana. Uh, it's hope. And Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, you're going to have it. Stop stressing yourself out about not having it. There was something else here that I saw. Well, for some of you, let me see. We do have change. We certainly have change regarding your status. So I want to say either, if you've been kind of messing around with somebody, but it's nothing serious, you're going to know by the end of this month whether or not you two have something going. But either way, you're happy with the outcome because you have hope in something more substantial and something, that's more in line with who you are and what you want in your life. You need someone that balances you out, but you also need a balanced relationship. So funny. But there's a lot of talk about balance here. That's what you're lacking. Maybe in your personal life you're lacking balance, and so your relationships are lacking balance. Therefore, you're not able to find love or get love in your life or reconnect with an ex or an ex reconnect with you. It's just you need more balance in your life. Ultimately, love is about being able to be vulnerable to the point where we're completely naked with another person, not just physically, but I'm speaking emotionally, spiritually. When we get to that point with another individual, I mean, that's a bond that's hard to break, right? When we feel like we can truly take off our mask, one of our masks that we wear, and be ourselves with someone, truly ourselves, and we're not going to be judged, and we're not going to be put down or mocked or whatever the case be. Past relationships have taught us that we can't be ourselves. But either there's this person or someone that ultimately you felt like you could just be yourself. You were able to be vulnerable with this person, and they balanced you out. Or that's something coming in for you. When I look at the star card, I think of healing waters a lot. But when I look at these healing waters, it's more of like emotional healing too. Spiritual healing with the star. Yeah. Let me pull some Gypsy Oracle cards, see what else we get. I want to look at the Six of Cups. Yeah, some of you lost a love that really meant something significant to you. You've felt like you can't move on without them. And there's some form of communication that's coming in regarding this person that I think ultimately you're very happy to receive. I mean, we do have the Nine of Cups here too. So let's look at the Magician. You know, the Magician here, I love the Magician here too because it talks about as above, so below. We create and manifest what it is we desire, but it's all about what's in your head first and foremost. It's all about what you put out there. So looks like you're going to be dealing with understanding self more by realizing some of your negative thought patterns, maybe realizing how you are affecting your own love life in a negative way, either by worrying about someone too much or overworking yourself too much. You're coming into more balance, and this brings in new love for you. Or it can be a love returning. Yeah, I think you're worried about someone from the past. I really do. And it's hard to say because I think for some of you, this is I'll explain the cards here. Sorry, I'm just going on reading. um, so we have some type of illness, and then we have the old woman and money. I kind of feel like these three cards are talking about there. Either there was a past relationship, or there was a substantial amount of, again, connection, vulnerability, able to be vulnerable. You have a strong connection with this person, and it makes you so upset that you don't feel like you have that connection with that person anymore. Maybe they're not around. Maybe, they're gone. And that has really brought you a lot of sadness in the past. But I think this person's going to be returning to you. There's going to be communication this month from somebody in the past. Let me look at the Seven of Swords. I need more clarification on this card. I wonder if this person, when you two separated, whether, I don't know if it was you or the other person, I don't know, but somebody kind of left abruptly or quickly, maybe, and there was such a level of commitment there that, the other person never thought that this person would just do that, just leave, just end it that way. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Sorry, guys. I know this doesn't apply to all of you, but it is a general reading. So on the Five of Cups, you basically have taught that the love you shared with this person was a sham. You know, initially it was a gift, but you realized how fickle it was. And you may have said, I really lied to myself. I devoted myself to somebody, and they, in turn, did not devote themselves to me. Either you're reconnecting with this person, or you're starting a new relationship. And it's not going to be like this past relationship. Okay? Different for everybody. Because, like I said, it's a general reading. But for some of you, I'm seeing you reconnecting with a past love that you really love. Again, you've opened up, you were vulnerable with this person, they were vulnerable with you, and you missed that person. I think you're getting back in touch with them this month. And then for some of you, it's really about moving on from that. Moving on from a past relationship where maybe things, I don't know, wrong timing. I don't really see the only thing I see is maybe somebody was highly manipulative and took advantage of you. You know, they didn't have the same level of commitment. Um, but you're going to move on from that. You're going to move on from that and realize that it's safe. It's okay to be vulnerable in relationships again. It's okay to give somebody the chance and not hold all the baggage over their head. Almost like a childlike nature with love, just being trusting again. Maybe someone new is going to be coming in that is going to be making you feel that way. Like it's okay to trust me. It's okay to be vulnerable because they're willing to be that with you. And it's wish fulfillment, with the cups here. Ultimate happiness. Okay? Let's look at what's going on for coupled Capricorn. Okay. First card we have is the Ace of Wands, the Devil, the Four of Cups, the Magician, ooh, Two of Cups, the Death card, Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Rods, and the Moon. Bottom of the deck, overall energy is the Knight of Swords. So, coupled Capricorn, move all this over just a tad. One of the obvious messages here is we have a relationship that's ending. It's a toxic relationship, so it's a good thing that it's ending. It'd be a situation where you feel like either you've been battling it out with your partner over some type of addiction or some unhealthy habit, or it can be something significant like you're physically having to defend yourself from this person because they're not, or they're physically abusive. You know, maybe they're verbally or emotionally abusive as well, and you're needing to stand your ground with this person on a constant basis. Um, I feel like there is a lot of passion, a lot of like physical passion in this relationship. And that's what kind of leads you to believe that this is a union or this is something where you two connect on a more spiritual plane or on a more in a more meaningful way. But I don't think that is really so. And I think you're understanding that this month. It's a blessing. And I don't think you're going to see it that way right away when you end this relationship or it ultimately ends, because the death card is ultimately, it's an end. It's like you don't, whether you control it or not, I don't see this continuing. I think something is going to be revealed possibly. We have a possible secret that will be coming to light. And whatever this secret is, it's not necessarily about you, but I feel like you feel it reflects poorly on you. So whatever the secret is that comes out, it affects your self-confidence in a way. But the Magician is here to remind you that ultimately you're in control of your destiny. Ultimately you're in control of this relationship, and which way you choose to take it, whether you choose to continue on this path or not. And I don't think that you will, because again, I kind of see you acknowledging your power in this situation and ending it. And I think it has something to do with reputation. And I think it's, um, I want to say that you believed in this partnership. You believe that, again, the higher union somehow between you. So you thought. Oh, excuse me, I'm dropping cards here. I just feel like there was some dazzling going on. What is that saying? Not all that glitters is gold. But now that you see it for what it is, it's become toxic. And you're not seeing that you're being offered an opportunity to release yourself from this relationship. But you will see it. Again, you'll see it. I want to look at the Moon card. Oh gosh, cards just don't want to stay together. Alright. Maybe it's just because I'm getting tired. Sorry, guys. Yeah. It's interesting we have the Hope card here with the Foe and Despair card on the Moon card of all cards. I mean, the Moon card is all about secrets. It's all about things hidden beneath the surface, subconscious truth or subconscious awareness that comes to the surface or comes to light for you individually. But I'm kind of feeling like, since this is linked to the Death card, this is a transformational time where maybe with two major arcanas here, it's a transformational time with the Moon and the Death card. It's all about you perceiving things differently or secrets coming to light, really, that alters this relationship. Maybe you see somebody in a different light than you saw them before. They're no longer the person you trust. There's someone that you're realizing that they're not worth your hope. They're not worth you desiring something more or trying to manifest something more with them or to continue on. Oh, Let's look at the death card. Sorrow. No. Sorrow. Oh, then we have a pleasant surprise in love. Let me pull a couple more cards. Let me look at the Two of Cups. And the Devil card. I kind of see with these cards as clarifying, the reading. Kind of looks to me like somebody wants a level of commitment that the other person doesn't want. On the death card, having the sorrow and then the surprise and the love card, it's almost like you were expecting the opposite from this person. It's almost like you wanted a higher level of commitment, or maybe this was their perception, They didn't think for a second that you had a doubt about this relationship. I want to say for some of you too. Okay, well let me finish where I was going with that, and I'll come back to that message. Yeah, so there's something here about unrequited love, where there's a partnership where, maybe somebody wanted a higher level of commitment, but the other person wasn't willing to give it. That's going to be surfacing for you this month to deal with. Basically wanting to make it known, are you together or not? Are we committed or not? But also, there's a secret one of you have. Whether it's an addiction, I don't know. I kind of feel, I'm getting a strong addiction feeling from this. And you decide, you know what, this is enough. I can't do this anymore with this person. No, they cause you a lot of headaches. But at the same time, you love them, You don't want to see them dealing with it necessarily on their own, or you're worried about their well-being. Time to worry about yourself. Look at the Two of Cups. So this is moving on. The Journey card and the Soldier, look, they're looking away from the Lover card, both of them. It's leaving something behind that maybe, again, initially we thought it was something really magical, we thought it was meaningful, but, here we are dealing with the same couple now being entrapped or feeling trapped. So, breaking free from that, tired of defending yourself for no reason or having to fight for yourself for no reason, needing to only worry about yourself. That's big, big this month. Yeah, just don't rush into any decisions either. I'm not saying you have to hurry up and break up with somebody tomorrow. This is something that if it's you that's coming up in the reading, it'll happen. It'll happen on its own. You won't even have to try. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn, for the month of September. One last thing is I'm going to pull a couple cards from this deck. I love this deck. Sometimes it's just a couple quotes or whatever that remind you or put things back into perspective, So what are the three quotes? I'm going to pull 3 cards here. Okay. So the first card that we have is called Be Impeccable with Your Word. Let go of self-judgment and blame. Being impeccable, you take responsibility for your actions, but you do not judge or blame yourself for anything. That's significant. I'm going to read that again. Being impeccable, you take responsibility for your actions, but you do not judge or blame yourself for anything. So remember that. I think that was kind of big with this reading. The second card I pulled is Don't Take Anything Personally. Become immune to poison. The whole world can gossip about you, and if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Immunity to poison in the middle of hell is the gift of the second agreement. The second agreement being, don't take anything personally. And finally, the last card I have for you says, always do your best. Practice makes the master. By doing your best over and over, you can master the art of transformation. By doing your best, the habits of misusing your words, taking things personally, and making assumptions will become weaker and less frequent with time. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Again, if you're interested in a private reading, I am offering that special. If you're interested, look below. I will post it in the information box below this video. I am thinking about in the future doing bi-weekly readings. I'll let you know. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to start that though. I'm going to make sure everybody stays in the know though of when I'll start doing that. But other than that, I hope you guys have a blessed month and be safe. And I will see you soon.